When you made the decision of giving up fame, was there ever a fear that am I going to lose my identity?
I miss making money. It's like the kind of money that I commanded at one point of time. That's not available to me anymore. After being home for so long, I think somewhere I lost myself. And I had nothing. I realized that I became very brave when I had a camera next to me. But without that, I was very quiet. I couldn't make friends. And I was actually quite an introvert. You only see the end of it where someone's looking really glam and someone's looking really beautiful and hot. But the toil, the tears, the suffering, it is so much of hard work that nobody sees. I've seen Warsi stand in a lift with people who know him and have not bothered to say hi to him.
I think our field is extremely ruthless and nobody really cares.
I've seen that. Food and poetry both were an outlet for me. I think it gave me a brand new way to live. It gave me a brand new identity. There is never an ending to me. There are many layers and they're just unexplored.
Today on my show, we have Maria Goretti, one of the early faces of Indian television who became known simply for being herself. Before social media and personal brands, Maria belonged to a generation of screen personalities who brought warmth, spontaneity, and real presence to the screen. But her story did not stop here. From MTV to food, family, writing, and poetry, Maria has lived many chapters. And today, we look at the woman behind all of them. Maria, welcome to the Aditi Govitrikar Show. Coming to young Maria, when she grew up and became this face, everybody in India knew you. You were a name when people were known for their characters or, whatever they played in the films, whereas you were known as you. Because you became the face of a music channel and took the country by storm. How did that happen?
So actually, Aditi, I consider myself really, really blessed, okay? Because I think all the wonderful things that happened to me, they actually fell into my lap, okay? If I had to look at how I have reached where I have in life, and if I had to try and plan this, I don't think I would be able to figure how to reach there, very frankly. So I was studying and I was doing modeling. And once I finished my graduation, I really didn't know what to do. And I wanted to be a fashion designer. So I joined Sapphires. I was studying there. I was still doing ad films. And one thing led to the other. I started hosting shows. I did 2 or 3 shows for Zee in Hindi. In pure Hindi, where I would learn the entire script and then I would just, pull out pages out of my mouth. I don't know how I did that. And then I had done a promo for MTV where they wanted a girl who could dance like Helen. So I did a promo for them and that's how they had me on tape.
Okay.
And when they did the MTV VJ Hunt, they called me. And when they called me, these ads were going on for really long. And I had not taken part. I had not put in my, I had not done anything. And when they called me, they called me exactly 1 week before everyone was supposed to go on stage. And I was like, this is rigged, and they've called me to fill the stage. And I was like, this is sounding very dodgy. Because you feel this is so last minute. Yes. Somebody's calling you last minute. Yeah. That's the first thing you have in your head. Somebody's left or there are not enough of people. And
you're
that's
a filler.
You're a filler.
So
I went and it was a fun 1 week. And I won. And I was like, I'll never forget that. It just changed everything. And Aditi, I really found the place that I actually belonged.
You found your groove.
I found my groove.
But you were such a passionate dancer as well.
Yes, I love dancing. So in fact, I went ahead to do a lot of dance shows also on MTV. But what I loved about the place is that it let you be, it let you breathe. We were never told, don't say this, don't say that. There were no rules to the game. We made our own rules as we went along, and that's why I feel we worked, all of us, because every one of us had our own individuality, and we all had our own style. We had our own everything. We didn't at all look like, if you put us all together, we didn't look like, oh, they are all the same.
No.
We all had distinct personalities, and we all stood for something that was different from the other. And I worked there for 5.5 years, and it was the most exciting period of my life.
So circling back to the time when you made the decision of giving up fame, so to say, and look after the children, young children, was there ever a fear that, am I going to lose my... But see, because your identity becomes... Like your work becomes your identity. And then to lose that, that little fear. Like, for example, I went through this phase where I said that I want to take a sabbatical for 1 year and just not do anything. Just cruise. I couldn't do it because what I discovered about myself is I love working. I can't...
there are a lot of people like that.
I can't sit quietly in a salon for 2 hours. I get bored. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, okay, fine, let's finish and get moving. You know?
Going.
But I understand that there can be a big insecurity or anxiety that I'm giving up something completely. Like yours was a hard stop, right? That okay.
Mine was a hard stop.
Did you go through that phase where you wondered that, Okay.
So it was Aditi, I'll tell you why. And I've thought of that a lot. I miss making money. Let me put that very honestly. It's like the kind of money that I commanded at one point of time, that's not available to me anymore. So that is the only thing that hurts me. Okay? I'm like, damn, why? But the thing is, yes, I took a different route and I did different other things. But I also feel, Aditi, that when I worked and when I was an MTV VJ, there was so much of appreciation and I got so much that I was actually satiated.
Your cup was full.
I never felt lack. I never felt I've not yet. I was satiated. I was so satiated that I was like, I want to sit home. So I I wanted to sit home when I had the kids. I really wanted to. Today when I sit at home and I'm knocking on teenage doors, sometimes I feel, why did I sit home for this? But no, the fact of the matter is that I had a great time. So today it is different. Today, I think life took me around a different path. And I discovered new things. I did different things that I never thought at that time I would ever do. I also realized, Aditi, that like when I stood outside school, I realized I couldn't make friends. It was really funny. It was like for somebody who would walk into a room and I could talk to everyone. To stand outside school, I used to stand with a book. Because
why is that?
I realized that a camera gave me a lot more, what you call it. I became very brave when I had a camera next to me. And I was far more, friendly and open. And because I think it came with the job.
Conditioning.
So it's like, okay, now if I'm going to be coming in and I have to interview everyone here, I will make friends with everyone here and I will do a fantastic interview with everyone here. But I realized without that, I was very quiet. I couldn't make friends. And I was actually quite an introvert.
Okay.
Okay. And I realized this down the line.
One of the identities that you enjoyed was being a Bollywood wife, right? Given that you were so popular and then you gave that up and then at some point, I'm sure you were only recognized as Mrs. Warsi.
I'm still recognized. Now I'm not recognized also, but if I'm standing next to Arshad, they ask me things like, "Aap unke Mrs." I'm like, well, whatever. I swear, Aditi. Because I also think that I have not been I've never, because I came from my own space and I did my own thing. I really never needed to be arm candy to anyone, and neither did Warsi ever think I needed to be arm candy. So it's very clear. It's like if I want to see a film that I really want to see, then I'll go with him. Okay, but if I feel no, I'm not wasting my time on this, I ain't going. So through the years, it's funny, but though he acts in Hindi films, it's like a job that he goes, he does, and he comes. Once he gets into the house, he still has to pick his own things. He still has to do normal things. Okay, so it's that. So I don't know how to. I don't identify with it. I don't know how to explain it to you. But
We'll make a show called Bollywood Bling and put you in it.
I would be the worst because I have no bling only. I'm like, I don't have any bling. I'll come with my really fancy mixers. And
that'll be the bling.
That'll be the
bling, the sheets and all.
Yeah. But it's. But I must say that because Arshad is in films, there have been a lot of privileges, and people have been really nice. So people have, they'll go the extra mile for you, and all that does happen, and which is a blessing. I have to say that it's a blessing. And I always tell the kids, I said, if Dada didn't work this hard, you would not be having this life. It's as simple as that. But I just feel that, besides the glitz and the glamour, it's so much of hard work.
Yeah.
It is so much of hard work that nobody sees.
They don't see
You only
that.
see the end of it where someone's looking really glam and someone's looking really beautiful and hot and blah, blah, blah. But the the toil, the tears, the suffering.
And you have to be so resilient because at the end of the day, between projects, you might give the biggest hit and then there is nothing happening. And
I have seen that.
Exactly. So you've been through that roller coaster him.
Aditi, I have seen, so in the beginning, the gauge was how many flowers are coming home for his birthday. So some years there would be so many that there would be no place in the house, and then there'd be none. I've seen Warsi, stand in a lift with people who know him and have not bothered to say hi to him. And I used to, so the thing is, that is why I think the friends we had are the friends we have.
Yeah.
And, there are few friends that we do make along the way. But I just feel that in a place like this that is so competitive.
I think it's very
and it's
ruthless.
So difficult.
I think our field is extremely ruthless.
Very
because,
ruthless.
It's very unfair to the person that's going through it at that point, and nobody really cares.
I've seen that. Nobody cares. Like when I first started seeing this around, he was really, really popular. And then he went through a really a phase where he was just not getting the kind of work that he wanted. And I kept telling him, I said, don't do stuff that you don't like to do, because that's going to really break your heart.
Yeah.
So just wait.
Yeah.
Just hang in there. You don't need to really go and do anything. But I remember those were really tough years. But what I also remember of those years is that it never made him a bitter person. He holds no grudges. He's very like, you are nice to me. You're nice to me, I'm nice to you. And that's it. And I realized that, like, I learned a lot from watching Arshad go from wherever he was to nothing to wherever he is today. And I saw that a lot of people would probably look at it like the world needs to give you something. He never thought that.
He wasn't an entitled. He doesn't have that sense.
He doesn't have that sense of entitlement. That I should be, or why am I?
So how is he so grounded and how are you so grounded?
Because I think it's, Aditi, I think also because both of us have seen the lowest of the lows. So when that's possible, what are you gloating about? It could all change in one night.
In 1 minute,
and you'll never, and the thing is, what stays is who you are.
Yeah.
And as much as, it sounds very utopian, but the fact of the matter is that money comes, money goes. You know, there are few things that stay. And I think if you can keep your mind, body, heart, soul, and spirit in a good place, in a place that is balanced. Of course, you go through terrible times.
Yeah.
But if you can just manage to say, no, tomorrow's a brand new day, it does work. And I think when the times were not as great, I think somewhere at the back of our heads, I think we knew that we're going to get out of it. It's just temporary.
It's a phase.
And it is going to get better. I think that took us through. We were people who did not probably need a lot. Like, it's not that both of us needed to go abroad for holidays all the time, or I needed to buy 10 bags and I needed to buy 20 shoes and I needed to buy diamonds every day. I don't have that. I enjoy the good things in life. It's not that I don't enjoy it. But
you're not obsessed with it. It's not like that defines you.
Yeah, it doesn't define me. Yeah. I'm very happy with a jhola, and I'm very happy with a Chanel or a Prada. It's okay. And then I remember 2004, I gave birth to Zeke. And I loved staying at home. And I loved looking after him. And, I really enjoyed being a mom. And I had a lot of fun. I really had a lot of fun. And I used to take them everywhere. And then I had Zene, in 2007, I had Zene. And I was very happy being a stay-at-home mom. The only thing that happened at this time, actually very funnily, Aditi, is that I knew 4 things to cook. Okay, now when you have 2 kids, okay, you need to know
food, baby
what
food.
to feed
Different
them.
foods.
So I used to know how to make that little khichdi. And in the beginning, it was fine. But after I remember Zeke turned 2.5, I used to call my mom and say, now what do I feed him? And now, okay, what do you put in a soup? What do you do this? What do you do that? So I actually, while I was looking after them, I actually started learning how to cook. And then I think when my daughter was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, she was about 3.5, is when I left to go to my first culinary school.
Oh,
because I really...
So how did the love for food, because generally what I have seen in my life is either you like to cook and then that is right from the beginning. So for you to develop that taste or that, liking towards cooking to now you're actually a brilliant chef. How did that happen? I mean, this is new.
So I was not somebody who would jump into a kitchen to do anything. Never. And it was my mother's biggest grouse that I did not ever learn how to make a roti. And I used to keep looking at her thinking, why on earth are you educating me? If you want me at the end of the day to sit home and make a roti.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand that. I was like, she said, no, you should. I said,
why?
It's okay. It's okay. So actually, once I had the kids, once I had Zeke and Zene, I needed to learn how to cook. And then I actually started learning how to do stuff at home. Okay, now to make this and now I make this. And I still can't boil rice properly, let me tell you the truth. I can make mash, but mashed rice is easy.
Baby rice.
Baby rice I can do. And then, Aditi, I got called by NDTV. Monia Pinto called me. She knew me through ads of me. And she said, what are you doing at home? So I said, what do you mean? I mean, I'm at home. She said, do you want to do a show? So I said, what's the show about? She said, it's a cooking show. I said, I know nothing about cooking, but it sounds very interesting. And I remember that was the first time I saw someone cook live and they were like doing amazing stuff with it. And I remember that he gave me to melt chocolate and I was like, God, I've achieved something great. I made chocolate. I'll never forget that show. So while I was doing this, the show happened and I met Ritu Dalmia, who's fabulous.
Her Italian food is to die.
Yeah, so between Ritu Dalmia and between Vicky Ratnani, they unknowingly are my mentors. because they infuse this love and passionate love of food into me. And while I was hosting the show, I met this girl, and she told me about this course at Gordon Ramsay School in London, in Woking in Surrey, and she had just finished it. And I realized through that whole hosting that I was hosting, but I was most interested in how they're cooking, what they're doing,
was happening.
What's happening. And I finished that. And I remember I wrote to the school that she told me about. So I wrote to them in Jan. This show I shot in December. And by September, I was in culinary school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, the next year I joined. And Aditi, it was the first time I left home alone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you know how it is when we shoot.
Yeah.
We travel with an entourage.
Yeah.
So though we do a lot of travel, you're not
never
really
by
on your
yourself,
own. You're never on your own.
Yeah.
So for the first time in my life, I realized that it's just me, my bags. So I remember when I paid the school and they told me, these are your options to stay and all. I was like, I'm staying in a homestay. There's no way I'm staying alone. Like, no. And I remember I found this really lovely woman, Eve, and I stayed with her for those 3 months. And I studied. And a lot of my friends thought that I would come back, and they were like, it's okay, don't worry. I mean, you can do this later on in life. And I remember when I was leaving, Arshad said, listen, you don't have to be stressed about this. If you can't do it and you can't live like this, just come back. And I remember my friend Sandy telling me, she said, I know you're not coming back. I said, I'm definitely not coming back. And for the first time, I was 40. I was not yet 40. I was going to turn 40 that year. And for the first time, Aditi, I found myself.
It's so liberating, isn't it? It is so... similarly, I went to Harvard, right? I had to go there and stay. I got my own little apartment on the river, sublet it from a Harvard student. They allow you to do that. And it was just so amazing living by myself in that little 1 BHK and going to college and coming back and doing homework. It was so awesome.
And for the first, I'll never forget, in the first 2 weeks, I would, I was somebody who always ran. So I'd get up early in the morning, I would go for a run. I would come back after 1 hour, have a bath, get dressed, eat breakfast, and I'd be sitting. Because I was so used to doing everything at
looking after the 2 young kids.
To 2 young kids, so that I'm ready for them.
Correct.
Then after some time, I was like, okay, college is at 9. I'm ready at 7:30. Like 7:30 to 9. I'll be just sitting in my room and looking out and sitting out in the... And slowly over these 3 months, I remember there were times that I was running to college and I'm like, how am I getting late? This is so bad. But it was so nice. And, I wrote a lot. I remember I started blogging some time ago before that, when I just started learning how to do food, or today I made a macaroni, or today I made some stupid things like that. But this whole journey, I remember I blogged about it. And I used to write about it every day. I used to write food. I used to just write, which is something I had not done in years.
So there was another layer that got added to your personality.
Yeah. And I, for the first time, I began realizing who I am. And I realized that I'm actually not a very crazily talkative person. I love
Say
my
that
own.
again.
I'm not. Now, if I have to talk, I will.
The Maria we know is...
Yeah, because that's the one that is on camera. But I realized that, Aditi,
you enjoy the
I
quiet,
loved my own company. I love museums. So when I was in London, on the weekend, I would just go to museums and go to plays. And I love history. I'm a huge history buff. And that's what I did. And when I came back, I remember after 3 months when I came back with, people would come back with bags and shoes and jewelry. I came back with ice cream machine, mixers, grinders. I'll never forget this. And I was, when I was leaving, one of my friends was like, "What have you bought?" I said, "You don't want to know." You don't want to know. And I remember when I reached Bombay and I was going through customs and they, of course, caught me because I had big boxes. I was like, "Bartan hai, ice cream machine hai." They were all funny things. But that's my joy. It's like, I love that. So so that's what I did.
But I'm going to stop you here because there's some observation that I have had where, because I've been reading what you write on the social media, Insta captions and all, and there's just so much depth to it. There is just so much of, I wouldn't call it chaos, but it is a combination of somebody who's very deeply wounded. There's pain. There is all of that, right? So it doesn't come from a person who can just switch off in a room. There is that gravitas that you have, which comes across from your poems.
Yes, absolutely. So, I used to write stories as a kid. And I realized that, a lot of things affect me. I may not be vocal about it because I'm not a very confrontational person unless I really need to be. I let things go. I just feel, not my circus, not my monkey, let this go. But that does not mean that it does not always affect me.
Yeah.
I think I carry a lot, but I think it comes out more in my writing than in my life.
That's the way you express it.
Yeah.
That's the outlet that you have found.
And it's so funny, but 2010, 2011 was a very big change. Like, I found food in 2011. I was doing food shows suddenly out of the blue. So a lot of things changed. I started writing in 2010.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember in 2011, I wrote my first poem and I couldn't understand how I was writing it. I was just sitting and I had a few thoughts. And I just started writing it on my phone. So both my books I've written on my phone. Because I'm terrible at typing. I can't type. I'm like, TikTok. I'm like, this is not working.
It's another thing which I observed, that in your, when you cook, or when I see you cooking or talking about food, or, creating some recipes in those beautiful cotton saris that you have been wearing, there is always an emotional angle to the food. It's never about, ye khichdi hai, ye karo, thumbs up. So you take a person who's watching you cook through an emotional roller coaster where there is always a connection. There's always a point in your heart where it touches you to say, yes, I identify with this. How did that happen? Because I know you've spoken a lot about the East Indian food and, that
because I'm East
aspect.
Indian.
Yes.
But I also feel that for all of us, food is memory.
Yes.
Food is what connects us to the most amazing spaces and to the darkest spaces. I'll never forget, the first time I experienced death, it was my grandfather. Now, to me as a child, death is devastating. And my grandfather was living in Vasai, we were in Mumbai. And when I went for the funeral, after the funeral, everyone came home. And then everyone raised a glass and they talked about my grandfather. And then my grandma made something called tope, which is poha, but with mutton.
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
So she made this and I am looking at this and thinking, what are they doing? Why are they having a party? It was so bizarre for me. Like, as a child, I was looking at this saying, why are they all laughing? It's sad.
Yeah.
So I realized over time that as terrible as death is, as terrible as it is losing a person, how can we convert that into flowers instead of ashes? So I don't know how and when and why, but somehow in my head, when the worst things happen, I go with every day saying, tomorrow is a brand new day.
Mm.
And there is something beautiful waiting around the corner.
Mm.
And whatever darkness that I'm going through
Mm.
is there for a reason, and I will know the reason a little later on.
Mm.
You know, so somehow my head is built like that.
Mm.
So I kind of, I connect everything to everything very emotionally,
Mm.
you know, and sometimes I have knee-jerk reactions to a lot of things, and then I'm like, oh God, why couldn't I just shut my mouth at this point of time?
I have never known you being a person
no.
who puts her foot in her mouth.
Oh my God, Auntie,
Really?
yeah, you've not hung out.
I have not seen that part of you then.
Very bad, very bad. So that bit now is where I'm working on, where I feel,
Breathe. Keep quiet.
Not my circus, not my monkey. Leave it. Don't say anything.
No giving unsolicited advice.
Yeah, that I've stopped.
Okay.
That I've realized it's also because do I really listen to everything that's told to me? Not at all.
Hmm.
You know, I
But
really don't.
As human beings, love to give advice. So I zip it. Many
zip
times
it.
I want
Yeah.
to say something, but
Sometimes
I have learned the hard way.
Yeah, sometimes I ask that, can I share something? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, do you want to listen to something? You know, unless it's a very close friend, I'm saying, bloody listen to me now. Okay.
Yeah.
That's another thing. But yeah, otherwise I think you learn, you know,
Yeah,
you live
you
and
learn
learn.
it the hard way sometimes.
The very hard way. That's the only way you remember. That's the thing. The happy things that you just flip around through, you may not remember all the time. But the hard lessons you do.
Yeah.
Like,
So I learned it the hard way. I'm like, so now before I open my mouth to give any advice, I'm like, पूछा है किसी ने नहीं ना तो zip it, keep quiet, let it go, it's okay, nobody's asked. But if somebody asks you, then obviously as a psychologist,
I think
whatever,
the
then
only
it's fine.
people that I go to with a lot of unsolicited advice are my kids. I'm like, listen, and they're like, no, I just said this yesterday. Why do you have to listen to it again? I'm like, because I'm your mom. I said, and I'm always going to be your mom. And I'm always going to be wanting you to do better. And I'm always going to want you to be safe. And so this is what I have to say. I had a very strict upbringing. So it was very clear in my head that I don't want to be that strict with my children. So I think, though I thought I'm really strict,
which is what I said.
Obviously not. Okay. But it's like I gave them a lot of freedom to do a lot of stuff. And sometimes when I look at them, I'm like, that's what's coming to bite me now. But I felt that they were very different from me. You know, they are their, like Zeke was his own person. Zene is her own person.
Are they different? Both
They're
of them
very
from
different from each other, in fact. I realized that as a child, I did a lot of things because my parents wanted me and expected me to do, you know, certain things. But as soon as I was able to do, I had freedom to do what I wanted to, my entire life changed. You know, I, like nobody in my family ever was on television, you know. So when I got into doing ads, it was extremely new. And, you know, everyone would say, why is she not, you know, pursuing, you know, banking or
academics and
something or the other. And my mom would get really hassled with me. And I really had no answer as to why. I was like, but I'm really enjoying this and it is work.
Yeah.
So I would go and work somewhere maybe for a month. Then I would be like,
I can't do it.
What am I doing here?
I can't do it.
I need to run away. I should be the moment, and I've done this thrice in my life. I've been in 3 jobs. I'm like, I used to feel like I'm play acting. You understand? I'm like dressed up and I'm taking one bag and I'm going into one office and I'm like, what is going on? It's not for me. But yeah, so I think what my children finally taught me is that I need to firstly let go, which is very difficult.
It's hard, yeah.
It's the most difficult thing, you know. So one is let go, and one is that I need to trust the upbringing I've given them. You know, I just think that, no, I have brought them up really well. And I may not meet that child all the time, but the moment they cross the door, everybody else meets that kid. And I feel really proud of them as kids. I really
They're
feel
good kids.
that, yeah, I really feel, you know what? They're good kids. They're
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll do their own crap,
yeah,
but they're good. They're solid. You know, I see them. I see that they are kind. I see that they stand up for what is right. I see that in them. And I feel really happy about that. You know, everything else in life, whatever they work hard and achieve, blah, blah, blah. But
There
I
will
just
be ups
feel,
and downs
yeah,
in
but
their
I just
lives,
feel
right?
what is important for me is that they are kind children. They treat everyone well.
With respect, yeah.
And with respect. And it doesn't matter who you meet, you treat everyone really well. And I think when I look at that, I feel, okay, I did something right.
You've done a lot of things right. So what brought you to now saying that, okay, I write, now let me publish a book?
That happened by chance. So Arshad got invited to the Bhutan Literary Festival. And he was going. And I had an event to do in Bombay. And he kept telling me, he said, I'm going to Bhutan, come, it'll be great fun. And I was like, no, I have this work, I have to do this. And 2 days before he was flying, I realized there was something wrong with the work that I had agreed to do. And it was not what they said it was. So I called them up and I said, I'm not coming. So they were like, you can't cancel last moment. I said, yes, but you promised me this and you're doing this. So that's a deal breaker for me. You know, you tell me what it is truthfully and I'm okay with the truth. But you don't sugarcoat something and show me some candy and actually it's
something else.
Rubbish. Yeah. So I'm like, so sorry, but I ain't going to be there. Figure it out. I'm out. And I told Arshad, I said, can you get me a ticket? I'm coming. So I got onto that flight and I just had the most wonderful time. We met really awesome people. And I remember the only person Warsi and I knew on that trip was Tiska Chopra because she was my friend for many, many years. I met her because I first styled her.
Oh.
Yeah, so I worked as a stylist during...
Oh my God, this part I did not know.
Yeah.
Okay, oh wow, okay.
So that's how I knew her. So she was there. And then we met Mushtaq Sheikh. Then we met Shakun Batra. Then we met Wendell Rodrigues. And they were all on this... They were all there at different panels at different times. And all of us, we kind of gravitated to each other. And we met Ajay Mago, who was a publisher. And then while we were doing this, Ajay told me, he said, you know, I've been reading your blog, Maria. And do you want to convert it into a book?
Oh, awesome.
So I remember we were watching this concert in Bhutan. And I looked at him and I said, are you serious? So he said, yeah. So I said, you really read it? Or you're just telling me this because of Warsi? There are a lot of times that happens. But that is the truth of life. So he said, no. So I said, anyway, we'll talk later. And then we did talk later. And he said, what kind of a book do you want to do? I said, you know, actually, Ajay, I've just had 2 book offers. When Ajay came, I did not know why he's come to me. Okay. And then by the time we left, he told me, he said, okay, exactly like how we want to do the book. He said, let's do it. So I said, okay. And I went back and I did not do anything. And he called me 6 months later and he said, so how much of work have you done? So I said, Ajay, I thought you were fooling. So he said, why would I be fooling? So I said, Ajay, why do you want to do this book with me? I said, I'm not a publisher. I'm not a writer. So he said, I'm in Bombay. I said, okay, I'm coming to meet you and I'm going to sit in front of you and talk to you and then we'll take this forward. So I remember I met him at the Taj. We had breakfast together. And I said, okay, you don't have to do a book with me. You know, we're still friends. So he said, Maria, but I would like to do this with you because I really like your writing. He said, I cannot believe I'm trying to convince you. He's really a sweet guy, okay, Ajay Mago. So then, okay, we shook on it and then I started working on my book. And I had no team, Aditi. I did not know how to do a book. I did not know how to start it. Didn't know anything. So I first thought, okay, I'll do seasonal vegetables. But now, of course, you get everything all 365 days of the year. It took me 2.5 years to do this book.
Oh, wow. That's
because
a
I was just
lot of
doing it
effort.
alone.
Yeah.
So I used to try the recipes and then, you know, do it all together.
And what about the moon and back? To the moon and back?
So To the Moon and Back happened because I used to also write poetry. So in 2010, I also... 2011, I wrote my first. And then I just had it in my phone. And I used to put some out. I used to keep some.
Yeah.
So when this book got done, Deepa, who was the head editor at that time of Om, she called me and she said, do you want to send me your poetry? So I said, what? She said, it's good, Maria. Don't get so worried about it. So I actually collected all my poetry. There were about 100 pieces. And I sent it to her. And then she gave it to Ipshita, who was finally my editor of the book. And Ipshita brought it down from 100 to 80. Then it came from 80 to 50. Then from 50 to 40. And then she told me, she said, cut this, cut that. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Then we brought it down to 40. And then I remember before lockdown, the book was ready. During lockdown, because I read it so much, I hated most of it.
Oh no.
And I was writing a lot during lockdown. I was really writing a lot. So half the book was new. I remember one day Ajay wrote to me and said, can you send me an email that says, publish this book? He said, I'm fed up of the corrections. I was like, then don't send it to me. Because if you send it to me and I read it, I'll be like, oh my God, this is shit. Cancel, rewrite. So I was like, don't send it. So then finally, I remember I reread. And then I said, okay, fine. I said, okay. I wrote to him saying, okay, Ajay, even if I call you after this and I beg of you to change. That I want to change something, just do not listen to me. Publish it. Within a month, it was published. It was published, it was out. And yeah, it's been out for quite some time now.
It's a beautiful collection.
I really love it.
Yeah, it is.
I really love it. It's a mix of everything that I wrote from 2011 till this book.
So 10 years.
Yeah, went into... Yeah, and I still have a lot of poetry that I have.
You know, before the podcast, we were chatting, and there's one more role which we must talk about, which is being a caregiver.
Yeah.
And something that topic is very close to my heart, because I feel that caregivers are not given that much attention, or, you know, the sympathy or the shabashi that they deserve, because caregivers do carry a lot of weight. I know you've taken care of your grandmother and now your mother because of degenerative diseases, because of dementia, etc. How are you handling that?
I think I've had it easy. Okay, Aditi, I think I've had it really easy. I think when we discovered that my grandma had dementia, my mom's a nurse. So she kind of navigated this entire path with her. And she realized that she needs to be bathed, she needs to be fed, she needs everything. Now, I think because I went through that with my grandma and my mom looking after her, now when my mom is in the same place, I think I just know that path. I'm somewhere inside me, I'm used to it. So yes, sometimes it really irritates me. It's not that I'm this peaceful antaryami all the time. But most of the time, I understand that she can't do anything about this, you know. And I've had some very funny experiences with my grandma. So actually, I look at it I look at it very lightly. Let's say that, you know. Also, I must say that my mom and my grandma have been wonderful dementia patients. They've really been nice. So I've not had a heavy burden.
Difficult, huh?
You know, I've not had a heavy burden. Like my grandma, funny things she has done. Like really funny things. Like she would get up in the morning and my mother would give her breakfast. Then I would wake up after some time because I would be going to college. And I would say, Mama, did you have breakfast? She would say, no. And she had lost her speech. So she would say, no. So I would say, okay, come on, have breakfast with me. So I would make her eggs, give her bread, give her cheese. You know, then she'd eat a banana. Then my sister would wake up a little later because she was in junior college, and she would say, Mama, have you had breakfast? Meanwhile, I've already left for college. she would say, no, no, no. So then my sister would be feeding her. So everyone was feeding. And we realized after some time, because even at that time we were trying to, we also, it was new for us also.
Yeah.
So we were like, we were like,
Overfeeding her.
did you feed? I also fed her. So we realized that we're all doing this.
Huh.
So it became a thing that every time she said, hungry, she would, point or if you left her with a dozen fruit on the table, she'd finish it all. and if we tried to stop her, she would say, no, 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 no. So she became a baby.
Baby.
She became a baby, but she was a happy baby. My mother is a busy baby. Okay.
She's a busy bee baby.
She's a very busy bee baby. So my mother is forever knitting or she's writing.
Okay.
And her coherence when she writes and she knits is bang on.
Point.
On point. So I have in my house lots of knitted, crocheted, tablecloths.
Huh.
But Aditi, I don't think a lot of people have this kind of blessing like I have. I know friends who have a very, very tough time with older parents who are no longer in prime condition and are deteriorating, and it's very difficult.
It's very hard to see your parent, especially
it's very hard.
Yeah, it is very tough.
But I said, because I saw my grandma, I understood this. Probably if I didn't see my grandma, I would not understand this. I would be fighting this.
Then you would be struggling,
I would be fighting this. I would be struggling. I would be doing all kinds of things. But because I did see her and I did see my mum look after her a certain way, I have a path, and that path is give her lots of thread, give her lots of wool, give her lots of fabric.
So the East Indian journey, the food journey that you embarked on, where did that come from?
So I'm East Indian.
Yeah.
And our cuisine is a certain way.
Which is not so popular. And I wish
because
that,
Aditi, it's so funny, but East Indians come from the 7 islands of Mumbai. Okay, you don't get East Indians from anywhere but from Bombay. They're all from Bombay. Wherever they are in the world, they are. Their roots are only Bombay. So as kids, when people would ask me, so where is your, what do you call it?
Native place.
Where is your native place? My native place was Bombay.
It's Mumbai.
So I was like, it's here only. So I had all my friends go somewhere, but I had nowhere to go. I would be from here. So growing up, I never thought my food was special or my food was anything because it's what I ate and what I grew up with. I think it's after I got into food and I started learning is actually when I wanted to learn a little more about my own. There is something that we have called a bottle masala, which is made with a certain amount of ingredients. When we were kids, we had these ladies who would come in May and they would roast all these masalas. And then they had this big wooden kind of, it was like this big vase.
Yeah, where you
and with those big sticks.
Yeah.
And then they would sing Marathi songs and they would kind of, beat it. And I remember when we were kids, we'd have, these carts that would come with onions and potatoes. And, because at that time, the rains were different. We get different produce. And we'd have dried fish, which I hate. Completely hate dried fish. Yeah, but so a lot of I would say happy memories associated with East Indian food. So all of those moments, I think, when I started learning how to cook, I just wanted them back.
The memories.
Yeah,
the
I just wanted them back. If I ever do a third book, I want to do it about the community. But it's very funny. But our community, not everybody wants to share their recipes.
But that's a universal thing which I have noticed and I don't understand.
But I don't understand why. Because if you share it, you and your recipe will live
be
on
forever,
in so
right?
many
And it will give so
Homes.
much joy to people who make it. Like I've had
Yes.
people sharing the recipes where they will not tell me one ingredient.
Yeah,
And
I don't
it will
understand
never
it.
taste the same. And I then know that, okay, you've not told me something.
Correct.
Either a step or and I'm like, why? I mean, I will always remember this recipe as your recipe, and I
Yeah.
will probably pass it down. But that's a very strange thing that
That
I have
is a
also,
strange
and I
thing.
don't. It baffles me. I'm
So,
like, okay, why?
yeah,
would
so
you do
Aditi,
that?
that's the only East Indians are from Bombay. They're Maharashtrians basically who converted. So my, I would say my native language is Marathi. So my mother speaks Shuddh Marathi. But because I grew, so she's from Vasai. But because I grew up in Bombay, I somehow understand it. I can speak a little, but then I get stuck because I didn't speak it a lot because my father's family spoke English. So when we were kids, we would, like, my cousins in Vasai spoke Marathi and we spoke English. So in the May holidays, I would learn a lot of Marathi and they would learn a lot of English. And my grandparents, my maternal grandparents only spoke Marathi and they didn't understand English. So it was so beautiful. It never mattered, you know.
Yeah.
Like they would come and they would say, how? My grandmother name was Rosemary. She was a tiny little woman with the loudest laugh. And I remember her like that. They were farmers, you know. So that's why I think, you know, this is somewhere inside me, you know. So I can't, that running through fields and having bath at the well and climbing trees and robbing mangoes and robbing gooseberries and
then somebody coming with,
running
like
after
screaming
you.
and shouting.
Then we would go to the beach and we would pick up shells and we would cook it. And so all these things are inside me. So that can't change. And that can't go anywhere. And I don't want it to go anywhere.
No, why should? It's
I'm
beautiful.
very, very happy.
It's very, very
and very
beautiful.
proud of all of this, you know.
You know, your poetry, the way you write, the way you express yourself, did you find an outlet for yourself by writing about your emotions, which you could not, perhaps on social media or when you were on television?
So, you know, I think my food and poetry, both were an outlet for me. So it kind of came together, Aditi. And, you know, I think what happened with me is that after being home for so long, like we talked, I think somewhere I lost myself. And I had nothing, you know. And then suddenly, I would say, food found me. And when I started cooking, I suddenly, with every dish that I made, it started bringing me a great amount of elation back. And what happened along with it, while I was writing, I was also writing blogs and I was being able to express, being able to probably pull out things that I was feeling in a good way, you know. With poetry, I really don't know how it came out of me. I sat one day, I remember I had these things coming and it's like I just picked my phone up and I just write and I shut it and I keep it. And I think there was a lot of probably unexpressed versions of me, of feelings or experiences that I have seen, I have heard, I have felt, I have gone through, that all found its outlet through the poetry. Yeah.
So when was that point when you realized that, oh my God, that there is this big void in myself, or, you know, who am I, or what is my identity? Like, I'll give you an example from my life. When I went through my divorce, after that, for a long time, I battled with things happening around me. Not only the divorce part, but my child was very preterm. So I had to keep him alive and work was not happening. So there was a lot of darkness at that time. But that was fine because I was dealing with the darkness. And then, of course, you know, you turn around and everything starts working for you and everything. when work started happening for me, at a point, I remember that day so clearly. I was having a cup of tea, and I asked myself, like, who am I? What am I? There was a sudden, like a big void, like a vacuum in my tummy to say that I don't know who I am. Came from outside, because for the outside world, it was like, oh, you're a doctor, you're a famous model, you're this, you're that, and
Yeah.
so everything was fine. So I had to kind of give that a lot of introspection, a lot of thought process that went to then saying that, okay, let's figure it out step by step. So was it an event like that for you?
Yeah, Aditi, I think it was over a period of time. I think it was very organic. I think my first brush with who am I happened when I left home for the first time to learn food.
Okay. In a new country,
Yeah.
suddenly you're like...
all alone. All alone. I was all alone for the very first time in my life. Firstly, I realized that for the first time in my life, I realized that I actually enjoy studying. I've chosen something that I actually love. And when I walk into this college, all those 65 people are equally passionate about this. None of us are there by force. So it really was a new beginning for me, Aditi. It was I never knew where it's going. I never knew what it's going to do. Like I told you, I'm not good with planning. But I think for me, I realized that was really something. Then when I went again...
the time before that was probably when you
So the time before that, I just, like I told you, I just got those 2 shows back again on television. And I jumped at it because it's what I do. Hosting is what's... Like if you wake me up at 3 o'clock in the night and say, Maria, you need to host the show. I'll be like, okay. I'll be up and about and I'll be able to do it because it just is something that is in me naturally. I can just do it. I don't have to think. There's no effort. I enjoy it. It just comes out of me. This was not natural to me because food was not. But I think it gave me a brand new way to live. It gave me a brand new identity in my head. It gave me a lot. I was a very reluctant author. Very reluctant. Second guessing, third guessing, fourth guessing, 10th guessing.
Ajay would agree.
Yeah, he would agree. When I look at it, I still don't think of myself as an author. I still think of myself as somebody who wrote 2 books. But inside me, I think what this whole new journey gave me was a space where I know that there is never an ending to me.
There are many layers.
There are many layers.
Unexplored.
And they're just unexplored.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know 5 years from today what I would be doing.
Yeah.
But I definitely know that I'll be doing something damn exciting.
I think you should do the cook along in Mumbai. I think it's
very difficult, Aditi. It's just so special and it's, it just has that whole vibe. And it's easy and it's so nice. So I really enjoy that there.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming on the Aditi Govitrikar Show and sharing your inspirational journey. I'm sure many, many women out there will love listening to you and deriving motivation and inspiration from all that you have done. So thank you once again.
Thank you, Aditi. Thank you I've talked a lot this afternoon. Like really talked a lot. For someone who's saying that I just like to be quiet sometimes, I've talked a lot. But no, it's been wonderful. It's really been wonderful. Thank you.